Hey guys, it's Coach Jason here. I just wanted to come live with you all this evening. Just kind of sitting in my office. Was been doing a little bit of reading. One of the things that's been really introduced to my life, especially since becoming a coach and helping to coach others, is personal development and diving into recognizing that transforming your health, transforming your life is more than just physical fitness, nutrition, all of that amazing things, but it starts with your mindset, and it starts with the way that you think, the way you talk to yourself, and all of those wonderful things there, because it's truly on the subconscious level that you truly start to get to know yourself a little bit deeper. For those that have been following my journey for a while, or if you may be new, one of the things very unique to my personal story is I come from a history of food addiction. I come from a place of constant self-sabotage. Like, I would be great at working towards and achieving a goal, and then as soon as I achieve that goal, all of a sudden I view it as, oh great, I achieved it, now I get to go back to doing what I was doing. Or just the way how I view food and how it's just constantly on my brain. And I was kind of scrolling through some books to see what would catch my attention, and this is the one I'm diving into right now. It's called Rewire, Change Your Brain to Break Bad Habits, Overcome Addictions, Conquer Self-Destructive Behavior. And it's actually, like, I wanted to pop on live with you all, because what my goal is to go through this book and to share my takeaways from it. And I don't know about you all, but one of the things I do is I highlight in the book as I read and everything. So I just wanted to come and share with you all, like, just a part of this book and what I read today, and just see what you all think about it, just to kind of put some thoughts out there. And like I said, I'm coming at it from a way of how to control my food addiction, how to get past those hurdles, and wonderful things too. And as you all hop on, definitely feel free to say hey, let me know where you're from, like if you have any struggles as well, because I see the little eyeball popping up there. So feel free just to say hi, and let's have a conversation. So I wanted to start with just reading a couple paragraphs that I highlighted and just kind of chat about it. In this chapter, it talks about how we have two minds constantly fighting within us. It says, put very simply, it seems as if we have a thoughtful, conscious, deliberate self and an automatic self that does most of the work of living without our attention. The conscious self can certainly make mistakes, but it's our automatic self, our subconscious, that usually causes trouble. It is guided by motives and prejudices we are unaware of, our own unique frames of reference that are not in sync with our reality, old habits of doing things a particular way, and they are feelings we try to deny. The automatic self directs most of our behavior, especially our spontaneous actions. The conscious self is in charge when we take the time to think about our choices, but it can only focus on one thing at a time. Meanwhile, we're making many other decisions, both for good and for ill, with our subconscious. The automatic self has us quickly gobble up the potato chip while the conscious self is distracted. The conscious brain has the job of checking facts and correcting our automatic responses when they lead to bad outcomes. But the truth is that it has much less control over our actions than what we want to believe. The trick in overcoming self-destructive behavior is not so much to strengthen our conscious self so we can control ourselves better. Rather, we must retrain the automatic self to do things like make wiser decisions unconsciously, ignore distractions, withstand temptations, see ourselves in the world more clearly, and interrupt our reflexive responses before they get us in trouble. And then it goes on to talk about something that neurologists are exploring, and it's the idea of what they call a plastic or changeable brain. It's the recognition that our brains change and grow physically in response to our life. It says neuroscientists know now that bad habits become the default circuits when we are faced with temptation. Therefore, you have to train your nervous system as you would train your muscles and reflexes. And I just found that extremely interesting, especially coming from, like I said, a food addictive standpoint. And hey, Anastasia, hey, Mindy, I see y'all popping on. Feel free to say hey and let me know what you think too. And like I said, it's always been a mystery to me, knowing everything that I do the past like almost 3 years as a coach, over a decade of nutritional studies, and I know mentally how to eat well. My conscious brain knows what I need to be doing in order to achieve my goals, in order to lose what I want to lose and create the life that I want to create. But at the same time too, it's becoming self-aware to those little destructive behaviors. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like last night, Adam and I were just sitting around and we had our game plan on that today was a for real day one of going back to refocusing and tracking our food, using our cups, like with 21 Day Fix, all of that good stuff, and truly tracking our nutrition. And up until that point last night, like, the day had been great, like no splurges, but then all of a sudden it was just like, it just kind of hit me that, oh, well crap, if we're starting over tomorrow, then I need to, then we deserve a splurge. We deserve a splurge meal. And yeah, at 9 o'clock last night, I went out and we got pizza and we had ice cream and had a splurge meal. And honestly, like, at this point, I don't regret it because it is part of my journey. That is one thing that I've learned to confront and face up to this point, is that there isn't ever going to be perfection, that there's always going to be those times that you take a step back. But it also had me diving into, like, why does my brain think that way? Like, why do I self-sabotage, knowing that, okay, this is where I want to be, this is my goal that I'm working towards. So why in instances like that do I rationalize that it's okay to do something completely against that and take me in the opposite direction? And that is what I think that this book's going to be really helpful at, because it is written by, like, a PhD and a neuroscientist and everything. And later on in the different chapters, he really breaks it down into, like, how to actually work with yourself and become more self-aware, and to, like he said, really retrain your subconscious from those destructive tendencies and those destructive behaviors to something of, you know what, yes, tomorrow I am going to start more strictly on my nutrition, but that doesn't mean that I need to have this cheat meal. And yeah, Mindy, it's just, it's crazy sometimes, because, like, in that moment, it is so full of rationality. It's so full of, I deserve this. I need to do this. I mean, because I won't be able to do that. It's like fighting against a little kid. And that is when I'm going to be really interested to see what he says and the techniques that he uses in order to help retrain your subconscious. And yeah, the subconscious is like a little devil on your shoulder. And I like how he equated it to, like, it is like working out your muscle, and it's working out a mental reflex. And it's just, it's not going to be an overnight thing. It's going to be full of ups and downs. It's going to be a bumpy road. There are going to be setbacks, but it's within those setbacks of actually looking internally and becoming more self-aware. What else did I say? Sorry, I kind of closed the book on me. He says, it's not impossible to detect our unconscious motives, habits, and assumptions at work. It requires self-aware, the practice of certain skills that don't occur to us naturally. And And that's just honestly what I'm excited to dive into, and I'm excited to kind of come and share it with you all. And hopefully together, like, we can kind of start changing our minds a little bit and start viewing things, no matter, like I said, if it's food addiction, if it's caffeine, smoking. He talks about this helps with depression, just any bad habits and addictions. It says, oh, and this, I also like this. He says, most of our actions in life are motivated by things that give us pleasure, pride, love, and a sense of mastery. It's called the pleasure principle, and it explains a great deal of human behavior. And while that's true, like, yes, everything we do, like, especially food, like, sometimes, like, he talks about, where was it? Just how, like, trying to understand why people do things that disserve them and do things that aren't in their interest. It's because in those short periods of times of rationality, when you're in that moment, like overeating or splurging, it brings you that instant gratification in that moment. But the mental strife and the guilt that comes afterwards is almost more detrimental. Yeah, and summer is definitely a harder time to eat right, because you get busy, you get outside, you're more active, your body works a little bit more because of, like, all the heat and everything, so you start craving those things. So, but the question behind all of that is, why do we crave the things that we know aren't serving us? So, and that's not to say that the other thing I like that he talks about is it's not about giving up all of those special treats or anything like that, but it's about rewiring your brain to not justify having them all of the time. Sorry. And that there will be setbacks. He talks about that it's an Undertow Effect, and he says the fact that after years of successfully controlling a destructive behavior, something can set us off, and soon we are right back to where we started. And that's just the thing, is in those times of the undertow and pulling us back in, it's just becoming more and more self-aware each time, and growing from it. So I'm truly interested to see where this book goes, and I definitely cannot wait to share some of the techniques that I learned with you all. I definitely plan on popping on live a little bit more, so if you're struggling with something, if you have a bad habit, like, if this might be of interest to you all, it just kind of popped in my head. We can always form, like, a bad habit group or something like that. So I'd be interested in that, and we can go through the book. Or just kind of let me know. And if you just want one-on-one help, feel free to reach out to me as well. So I look forward to sharing my journey. I look forward to seeing what you all do too, if there's anything you want to share. But yeah, I'm just really digging this book. So if you want to get it for yourself, again, it's called Rewire, Change Your Brain to Break Bad Habits, Overcome Addictions, and Conquer Self-Destructive Behavior. And it's by Richard O'Connor. And I just got this on Amazon. So, but anyways, guys, I really appreciate you all for jumping on and chatting with me, because, like, this is one of the things I love about doing what I do as a coach, is connecting with you all. So again, if I can be of any service, if you can relate to anything, feel free to share this video out. Definitely make sure to follow, so that way you get all of my live updates and everything like that. So actually, Adam just got home, so I'm going to go enjoy part of the evening with him, and I will chat with y'all later. Bye, guys.